I'm going to show you my pantry. We remodeled our kitchen a few years ago, and I designed everything in there from ground up, and I wanted it to hold pretty much everything you could imagine in a very small space. So starting with from ceiling down to the floor, I got these rails and baskets at Container Store. Pretty much everything in here for the most part is Container Store. And I use this to hold all kinds of things that you wouldn't really want on a shelf because they're small and, you know, it's kind of awkward to try and really organize these well. So using a wall that otherwise would have been just wasted space to store this type of stuff is a good use of space. Through here, well, first I'll tell you, my pantry used to have shelves just on this side and this side, and they did not go up to the ceiling. So again, this is a high ceiling, but it's a pretty wasted space if you're not utilizing all of it. I ripped all the shelves out and had a Costco door put in, and my contractor gave me a lot of grief for that, saying I was wasting space, but I actually think it was one of the best things I did because I maximized the space I had and made it functional for me. My garage is right on the other side. This is ideal. So next, what I did is measured every single thing I wanted to put in my pantry to determine what kind of space I would need. So for here, these are all, you know, various trays, muffin tins, cake pans, the kinds of things that, again, are a little bit awkward in cupboards, but they store really nice vertically. So I measured the smallest ones down to the largest ones and fit them in through here. I have cookie trays actually outside my pantry in here, cookie trays and cutting boards and drying racks and other random stuff, but that is not anywhere near enough space for all the awkward type things. So that's there. Then we'll swing over here. I had 2 banks of drawers put in. Everything on this side is non-edible. Everything on this side is edible. I use the drawers. This is all like baking type and chocolatiering type stuff. And then we've got snacks that are pretty much these drawers. And the kids, you know, raid these, especially during quarantine. It's great. These are empty about every 5 minutes, so that's great. Then we've got onions, potatoes, sweet potatoes, also kind of empty right now because we just had dinner. And the bottom, this is the ugliest drawer. I don't like it, but it holds all the random stuff that doesn't really fit anywhere else. I've got my flour and my sugar kind of tucked back in here. They're in tall, narrow rolling things, and my flour I can just pull down pretty easily. In this bank, like I said, is non-edible. I've got plates and paper plates and cups. I've got all my tinfoil, parchment, plastic wrap bags and stuff. All the things that are bad for the earth. No, but you know, we're slowly making our way away from those. Some linens, aprons, cookie cutters, random stuff. Okay, then back to all my little cubbies. I measured, like I said, I measured pretty much every single thing I wanted in here and designated space for various things. These are all my like relish tray or various segmented serving things. I used to have all my serviceware and beverage dispensers and cake plates and various, you know, serving trays and things. I used to have them all in my basement, but they weren't used very much. So I had things that I'd spent money on but couldn't use because they weren't in a place that was really accessible. So when I did the pantry, my goal was to have everything really accessible so I'd actually use it. And that's another little thing of organization that I think is really important, is the more accessible your items are, the more you'll use them and the better, you know, your money will be spent, because you'll only use things, you'll use the things that you have. Okay, then coming to my other little cubbies, everything in here is baking, and these containers are from Amazon, and I believe the brand is Dragon, Draggon. I'm pretty sure, I might need to check on that, but I compared a lot of different ones. OXO is a popular brand. I got 10 of these containers of varying size. I want to say there were like 2 this size, 2 this size, some this size, but 10 of the combination in one box for something like $60 per box, and or 50, or I don't know, much less than OXO. OXO, when I compared them, it was something like $90 for the same quantity. And the quality has been great. I have had some lids break across the top, but that's, I'm gonna say, more related to children than it is quality on these. But I also wanted square ones because they fit in the space a whole lot better than circular ones. So getting things that are very uniform, and you don't have to spend a lot of money. It can be anything that's uniform, but getting things that are uniform really help to keep everything neatly tucked away. So I have all my baking stuff here. Here we have different crackers and pretzels, cookies, snacks, nuts, just things that don't really, you know, they're in awkward boxes or bags, things that are really difficult to keep organized. So I put them in here. I change them. Up here we have grains and pastas, oatmeals, things that are, you know, dry goods that you use a lot, again in all the uniform boxes or containers. So another thing of organizing, at least this is my own personal little opinion, I think it needs to not only have everything neatly, you know, kept together, but it should be pleasing to the eye. And that's why I have my wallpaper, because I think it looks pretty. That's also why I have my little center cubbies here. These center cubbies honestly are not the most functional for space, but it looks pretty. I have my straw container that, you know, nice for the earth, or reusable straws. Up here I just have more of my serviceware and other pieces that don't necessarily fit other places really neatly, but it looks decorative. It's not, you know, maybe how I would decorate like a family room, how I would stylize a shelf in a family room, but it's a pantry, and so it works. Okay, then behind me I have my bread boxes, and we use these little cubby things for hot chocolate, popcorn, oatmeal, cereal. I wanted all my cookbooks together, but one little tip that I really like, I use these magazine holders to put my cookbooks in, because again, they look pretty. I have, if you didn't notice, I like mint green, and I have a lot of mint green in here. So it brings the color in, but they also stay in place so much easier, and they're not falling all over. So that's something that I like to do, is have those in there to keep them in place. Obviously knives, and I have a little, I don't know, control center down here that has turned more into Gavin's center. He likes to come in here and draw, but this is usually a schedule for the week, but you know, we're quarantined still, so that's all we do. And then this is a grocery list. Right now I don't have anything written on it, but you know, got dog butts, so that's good. And over here, just 2 little file folder things to kind of tuck random pieces of mail and other stuff that I don't want sitting on my counter. So it's in here, and theoretically I go through it regularly. but you know, theoretically. Anyway, so this is my pantry, and if you have questions, ask and I will answer. I really like organizing.